Over the past couple of days, a lot of different stuff has been presented to me. A lot of different stuff. And to be honest, some of it is quite frankly absurd and ridiculous. What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sports topic, and today we're going to talk some football. Houston Texans football. Today we're going to talk about the quarterback position in Davis Mills. Is he being overvalued, or is he completely underrated? We're going to break it down. But like we've been telling you on the last couple of videos, the goal is to reach 5K, 5,000 subscribers. We reach 5K, I'm doing a very, very special giveaway. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. You want to be a part of it. But the only way to be a part of it is to get the channel to 5K. So then what that mean? That means you got to do your part. I mean, you got to like, share, subscribe, share it to your homeboy, your homegirl, your co-worker, anybody who likes sports, anybody who like good YouTube content, share it to them so they can subscribe. Share it on all social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever social media platform you use. If you still use MySpace, whatever, any social media platform that you use, share this video on this social media platform. Also follow me on social media. The links in the description below. Check them links in the description. We are giving out 30 days free of Amazon Prime. If you sign up for Amazon Prime, you get 30 days free. We need to get the channel to 5K, so let's do it. We are so close, y'all. We are extremely close. We almost there. We almost there, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. You want to be a part of this special giveaway, but we got to get the channel to 5K first, so you got to do your part. Now, let's talk about it, because like I was saying, a lot of information, a lot of things have been presented to me over the past couple of days, and like I said, man, it's actually comical. It's absurd, to be honest, quite frankly. I'm going to talk about something that's probably the most absurd that I've heard. And I think it's kind of the reason why a lot of people are the way they are when it comes to Davis Mills, like I said. So, the question that, it wasn't presented to me, but it's something that I heard. And it goes like this. If someone will offer you a second round pick for Davis Mills, if somebody called Nick Casario and offer a second round pick for Davis Mills, would you do it? The other person said no. They wouldn't give a second round pick. They wouldn't give up Davis Mills for a second round pick. And so, okay, so what would you give up Davis Mills for? Then the guy said he wouldn't even give up Davis Mills for a first round pick. So then the immediate question was presented. So if I trade you, if Pittsburgh calls Nick Casario and be like, hey, look, we'll give you the 20th pick in the draft to come for Davis Mills. You turn that down. And they said yes. And I quote, they said the reason why, because Davis Mills, the unknown of Davis Mills is more valuable than a first round pick, let alone the 20th pick in the draft. If that ain't the most stupidest thing I've ever heard, people say a lot, people use that term loosely. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That's literally the stupidest thing I've ever heard when it comes anything dealing with sports. You're trying to tell me a guy who only played 11 games, who we don't know if you Money Mills, Mafia, if you think Davis Mills is a trash person, whatever, nobody knows for certain. So you're telling me you're gonna give up a bird in the hand for a 20th pick in the draft? If Pittsburgh calls Nick Casario for the 20th pick in the draft, offer the 20th pick in the draft for Davis Mills, straight up, they give the 20th pick in the draft, we give him Davis Mills, and he turns that down. He needs to be fired immediately and drug tested, because that's absurd. Now, mind you, the Pittsburgh, whoever's offering these picks, they need to be checked as well. But we're not covering them. We're not talking from their standpoint. We're only talking from a Houston Texans standpoint. That's idiotic. That's it. That is completely idiotic. And shout out to my boy Wink out there, everybody out there, South Sports out there, everybody on South Sports. But Wink also showed me a tweet of him going back and forth with somebody, and they were arguing Davis Mills and Deshaun Watson, and saying how Davis Mills is better than Deshaun Watson, and don't bring me Deshaun Watson stats in 2020 because he had a whole bunch of garbage time stats. Because I guess that was the argument must have been that Davis Mills has a lot of garbage time numbers. Because people always give out these Davis Mills numbers. Oh, that really doesn't mean, in a grand scheme of things, doesn't mean anything at all. Quite honest, it doesn't mean anything at all. They go out there and say, okay, He was the second best rookie behind Matt Jones. Like, he played better than Trevor Lawrence. He played better than Zach Wilson. He bad. Okay, like I said again, that's an indictment on them. That's not saying that Davis Mills is the guy. That's more so saying these other guys played bad. I wasn't high on Trevor Lawrence coming into the draft. I really didn't know too much about Zach Wilson. He could make some throws, like some throws that make you jump out your seat. But I was more so of Trey Lance, who we haven't got a chance to see yet. But the Texans got to see him up close and personal, but we haven't got a chance to see him throughout the whole year yet. I really liked Justin Fields, and Justin Fields did disappoint. He left a lot to be desired. And when it comes to Matt Jones had a decent year, but it wasn't. They made the playoffs. I think that was more so the team around them. I'm not simping and want to sing a whole bunch of Matt Jones praises as well. So that's one thing, and then also they give you these red zone numbers of his percentages in the red zone, and he led the league in percentage in the red zone. He led the league in third, but those are all percentage stats when we already know that Davis Mills didn't play the full season. He only played 11 games, so you got to take those stats with a grain of salt because we don't know. Okay, how many attempts was that? I'll give you some numbers that nobody talks about. Nobody ever talks about these numbers. I've talked about this before, but I need an actual answer because no one's answered this when I tell them this. Davis Mills engineered 28 scoring drives throughout the whole season. Throughout the whole season, he engineered 28 scoring drives. And what I mean by scoring drives, that's touchdowns that he's thrown, touchdowns the running back scored, or field goals that the kicker made. He engineered 28 scoring drives. Do you know that averages out throughout the whole season? Well, not out of the games he played, not the whole season. Out of the games he played, out of the 11 games that he played, he engineered 28 scoring drives. Do y'all know that that's the equivalent of 2.5 average? 2-point scoring drives per game. 2.5 scoring drives per game. What gives you anywhere from 9 points, well, not even 9 points, because 9 points would be 3. It gives you anywhere from I guess from an average standpoint, I'll say 9. It gives you anywhere from 9 points to 21 points. That's the high mark. The high mark is 21. Actually, not even 21. Actually, the high mark will actually be 18. Because it's not, it won't be a full, because it's not a full 3. It's 2.5 scoring drives, not 3 scoring drives. So I'll round it up. I'll be nice and round up to make it say 3 scoring drives per game. That's either it gives you 9 points a game or anywhere between 9 points to 21 points a game. That's what he gets you. That's what he gives you. Now, mind you, he also times that he's led the team in scoring position, and the field goal kicker misses a field goal. That's not on him. That's the kicker missing the field goal. So that's points that's scoring drives, engineered that's taken off. But if you want to be honest, because the defense, remember the one stretch the defense had 10 turnovers in 2 games, the defense also put you in the scoring position where all you have to do was just not turn over the ball, and you were already in field goal range, and the kicker made field goal, and you will get classified and get counted as a scoring drive. That type of situation like that. So there are some little nuances like this. It goes back and forth. You can make a case here and there where it could have been more. That's really not his fault, or really it's really not a good. It's even worse than it actually is. So we just take it at face value at the 28. Again, that averages 2.5, and I'm gonna be nice and round up to 3 scoring drives per game. That's not good. I'm not saying he's scoring. I'm not saying he's averaging 3 touchdowns a game. If you're averaging 2 or 3 touchdowns a game of him throwing, hey, now we cooking with something. That gives you the franchise record for the most touchdowns in the season if he averages 2 or 3 touchdowns a game. So I'm not talking about that because 17 games a season, if he averages 2 touchdowns a game, that gives you 34 touchdowns. Boom, franchise record, most touchdowns thrown. But I'm saying engineer scoring drives completely, which means he didn't have to score anything. The running back could have scored, a receiver could score the reverse, a field goal kicker made, the kicker made a field goal, whatever. That only gives you 20. That only gives you 21 points maximum a game. That's not good. And like I said, these 28 scoring drives, we all know that some of them came in garbage time. Now back to the garbage time stat. For instance, like the game against the Rams. The game against the Rams, they were down 28-0. They were down 28-0 in the middle of the fourth quarter when he gets 300 yards and 3 touchdowns because they kicked some extra points. Not to mention the Rams. Not only did they start playing back, They took their stars out and put their backups in. Their backups was in the game when he scored those 3 touchdowns. Again, doesn't that make garbage time? Tell me when Deshaun Watson did that. Tell me when Deshaun Watson was getting blown out and they put their backups in, and then he started going and started throwing a whole bunch of touchdowns. Now, Deshaun has gotten blown out against the Rams, not against the Rams, but against the Ravens, against the Chiefs. He has gotten blown out. I give you that. He's also had some garbage time stats his rookie year against the Chiefs on Sunday night, especially that last touchdown. You can make a case that the second to last touchdown was kind of still in the field of play, but definitely the last touchdown of that game was a garbage time touchdown because he scored a touchdown with no time left. But the majority of Deshaun Watson's numbers happened in the fluctuation of the game because, let's be honest, let's call it spade a spade. How many times have we sit up here and complained that Deshaun Watson did everything he could to win the game and the defense let him down at the end? The defense, come on, y'all gonna bring up 2020. If I'm not mistaken, the game against the Titans, the first game, last time Deshaun was on the field, he throws a touchdown to put the team up by 7. The defense goes out there, allow them to score with 10 seconds left to go in the game, and then they get the ball in overtime, and Derrick Henry runs and scores. How did Deshaun Watson get garbage time numbers in that game? The game against the Colts, they were driving. If they score, they were driving when they get to the end zone. If they score a touchdown, the game is over. Nick Martin fumbles the snap. Nick Martin hikes the ball and hikes the ball wrong, and it goes over Deshaun's head. They get the ball, they win the game. How was that garbage time numbers? Because if they would have scored that, they was on the 1 yard, on 2 yard line. If they score a touchdown, they win the game. How's that garbage time? The second game against the Colts, which calls going in to get the game winning touchdown. Kiki, and he fumbles the ball again. How was that garbage time numbers? The last game of the season against the Titans, he scores I think it was the game winning field goal or something like that, and then AJ Brown gets thrown. AJ Brown makes a big catch down the field, and then the Titans go out, kick the game winning field goal again. How is that garbage time numbers? I'm giving you 4 games right there. Probably 4 of it, especially the first game against the Titans, more productive games of that season. How were those garbage time numbers? And 2020 is 2020 is the worst season to bring up Deshaun having garbage time. You might can make a case in the game against Kansas City in his rookie year, but remember the game against New England, the game against Seattle, the game against the Titans, the game against Cleveland. Like those games 2 of those are wins, and the other 2 were Deshaun won the game and defense let him down at the end. Well, with Brandon Cooks catching the touchdown, and then I think it was Jimmy Graham for Seattle to call a touchdown, if I'm not mistaken, in that game. So, where's these garbage time numbers that Deshaun puts up? And I'm not trying to make this a Deshaun Watson versus Davis Mills debate. I'm just bringing up with a tweet that was presented to me earlier this week. I just want to make a reference to that. That didn't make any sense. But back to about the whole thing about overvaluing, because we're to a point where we won't give him up for a second round pick, let alone the first pick of the draft. I mean, the 20th pick in the draft. But yet, the whole time we want to sit up here and talk about all these different trade packages and all these things that we can get for Deshaun Watson. So how can when we know what the kind of quarterback Deshaun Watson is? At the very least, I think we all can agree on this. We really don't know. We don't know one way or another, good or bad, about Davis Mills. So it really is an unknown. So you're gonna roll the dice on that unknown. You for one have a career backup on your hands, and you had the chance and the opportunity to give a first round pick. Now I guess the flip side to be you can have a potential Hall of Fame quarterback, and you gave him up for pennies on dollars by just giving him up for a first round pick. But the likelihood, the chances of him being a Hall of Fame quarterback versus him being just a regular run-of-the-mill quarterback are very, very unlikely. It is more so online that he would just be just a regular run-of-the-mill guy. Like he has a better shot of being an average, maybe make the Pro Bowl here and there than he does being a Hall of Fame quarterback. And if he is an average, barely make the Pro Bowl here and there, you getting a steal if you get a first-round pick for him, because those type of guys don't go for first-round picks. So, Matt Schaub was going to get traded. Is Matt Schaub getting traded for first round pick? Matt Schaub made 2 Pro Bowls, led league in passing. Was he going to get traded for a first round pick? Was he worth a first round pick? He's worth a second round pick. So we was drafted for a second round pick, and I forgot what the Texans gave up to get Matt Schaub. But even as Matt Schaub was a Texan, Was he worth the first round pick? If the Texans were able to get a first round pick for Cashapp, they would have got a steal. So you have a better chance of Davis Mills being a Matt Schaub type quarterback than him being Tom Brady. And that's nothing people want to bring up. Oh, you would have thought that such and such was sorry or such and such was trash after their rookie year. Comparing these to these great guys, or even comparing him to a Tom Brady. Again, he has a better chance. I'm not even gonna put trash guys. I'm gonna just put just a regular run of the mill quarterback like we see in Houston in Matt Schaub. He has a better chance of being Matt Schaub than being Peyton Manning or Tom Brady. That's just facts. He has a better shot of being Matt Schaub than being those guys. A better shot of being Kirk Cousins being those guys. So if that's the case, they are if you trade them for a first round pick straight up, you're winning that trade. You getting the first round pick, you're winning that trade. I don't understand the logic. I don't get what y'all guys don't see in that. I really don't see how y'all overvaluing a guy that much off of 11 games. No, it's kind of this is really what it is. It's the whole. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Eddie Murphy. The whole guy on the island analogy. If you give a guy on the island a saltine cracker, he gonna think it's a steak because he ain't ate nothing all day. He's so hungry when he eats that cracker gonna be the best cracker he's ever had. It's gonna be the best saltine cracker he's ever had. It's gonna be the equivalent to a steak because he ain't ate nothing. We're so starving for a franchise quarterback that will make anybody the guy. Without actually sitting back. Like I said, I've been telling people all along for the past couple months, let him play. You don't have to go out there and trade for nobody. You don't have to go out there and draft nobody in this draft. Let him play. We're gonna let him get his opportunity because he played well in the second half of the season. Let him play. Again, now if we get Deshaun Watson, that's a whole other story. Deshaun Watson, if he wants to come back, you boot Davis Mills after get Deshaun Watson. I absolutely. But in saying in the vacuum, you let him play. Now, I know I just made a video the other day talking about Jameis Winston. Now, I'm definitely following smoke because, like I said, Jameis fits what Pep wants to do better. Also, I believe that Jameis is better than Davis Mills. Yes, I'd rather roll with Jameis Winston at the correct rate. I'm not giving Jameis no big extravagant contract, but if it's a 1 or 2 year deal, absolutely, I'll take Jameis Winston. But I'll take Davis Mills over Jimmy Garoppolo. I would. I'll take Davis Mills over Baker Mayfield. I would. I would. As of right now, I would. I'd rather see Davis Mills play than see those guys play. Absolutely, I would. But if you're talking about Jameis, I'm taking Jameis. If you're talking about Deshaun, obviously we're taking Deshaun because he's a Pro Bowler, All-Pro caliber quarterback. So that's why I think people's minds being kind of twisted a little bit. And also you have certain people with certain agendas feeding the fan base with this propaganda. That's really what it is. They're feeding this fan base with this propaganda, trying to make people believe and cloud people's judgment on Davis Mills. I'm not even trying to cloud the judgment and saying that Davis Mills is trash. If you believe Davis Mills is the guy, hey, by all means, believe Davis Mills is the guy. But my thing is this. Tell me exactly what it is that you see. Tell me exactly what it is. I've heard people talk about that we see that Davis Mills throws better than Deshaun Watson. That's a lie. Like that's a lie. Davis Mills doesn't do anything on the field better than Deshaun Watson. Maybe except play action because Deshaun is horrible at play action. His play action was not good. But Davis Mills doesn't do anything on the football field outside maybe play action. I have to see Davis Mills play action, but I don't think so. But does anything better than Deshaun Watson? Oh, he gets rid of the ball faster. Like I said before, that's because he doesn't make plays. That's the reason why Deshaun holds on to the ball, because he's always trying to make plays downfield. He's always looking to make a play either with his legs or with his arm. That's what you have. You have that with most mobile quarterbacks. You have that with most strong arm quarterbacks too. They hold on to the ball because they're always trying to make plays. Most playmaking quarterbacks, if they playmakers with their arm or playmakers with their legs, they don't get the ball out quick. They hold on to the ball because what they try to do is make plays. Like, subscribe if you haven't, comment below if you haven't, click that bell, get more videos. I holla.